Chancellor or President, sir? I can't remember.
President. Good to be with you, David.
Thank you very much for being here. Now, a lot of people watching the president speak in front of thousands of university students might have been surprised that there wasn't the typical kind of protest that you're used to seeing these days. Is it fair to say he's got almost universal acceptance, or were they just being polite there at Liberty?
Well, you know, the interesting thing is they treated Bernie Sanders with the same respect. So
That's true.
I think that Liberty University students understand that the college is about hearing other ideas, free expression and exchange of ideas. And unfortunately, a lot of colleges have gotten away from that. And if somebody comes in who the students don't agree with, they're either disinvited or booed or hissed. And I think we've got to get back to where there's civility and the students learn from both sides.
Well, you know, I remember watching on television, because I wasn't there, but the Oxford Debating Society, where people with vastly different, you know, to have communists and capitalists face squaring off together. And as you mentioned, your university has actually had a very fine and respectful reception for socialist Bernie Sanders. So it is possible. Now, you were just put on this task force to study higher education. Are you going to learn, are you going to try to present ideas about how to fix that?
The task force hasn't really been formed yet. That's something we've been talking to the Department of Education and the White House about. We've been giving them a lot of ideas from some of our professionals and trying to help any way we can. And I just don't know the timing of when there will be a task force, but we are definitely engaged in helping every way we can.
But is there any way to bring that civility back to university campuses around the country, more than just Liberty?
Well, you know, it hasn't been that long. I mean, my father spoke at all the Ivy League schools in the 80s. I went with him. Back then, they didn't disinvite conservative speakers like him. Some of them booed and when they didn't like something he said. But at least back then, they still allowed him on campus. I don't think today, when you saw what happened at Berkeley, you know, liberals used to be champions of free speech. And at many major universities, the tables have turned and they've become more authoritarian and more, hate to say it, but fascist. And it's just, we've got to get back to respecting, you know, whether we agree with somebody or not, we die to defend their right to say it. And so I don't hear liberals saying that anymore.
Well, and you know, it happens not only to speakers on campus, but of course to a lot of people that have been appointed by the Trump administration, including Betsy DeVos, the education secretary. She was just the same thing just happened to her at a university. So, I mean, what do? Do you just power through these disturbances and try to totally ignore this behavior? In some cases, it's not possible.
Where she was booed, I think the school was trying to get more money from the Department of Education.
Incredible.
So, not a very smart way to do it. But I don't know the details on that. I just know that we've got to be respectful of all viewpoints, all ideas. And I thought the president delivered one of the best commencement speeches I've ever heard today. It was all focused on the graduates. It was about inspiring them to do great things, and it was not political at all. My hat's off to the president, and we're so honored that his first commencement address was at Liberty University. You know, the tradition is for the new president's first commencement address to be at Notre Dame. Well, we were very pleased he chose Liberty over Notre Dame today. Notre Dame's a school we respect a lot and have aspired to be like Notre Dame, the evangelical version of Notre Dame, and but we're so honored that he chose Liberty.
By the way, not only